fix the root causes of why someone attempts to crime in the first places. Some offenders need counseling, proper training, proper guidance and skill training before they are ready to return to their homes. The UN Nelson Mandela rules emphasizes that imprisonment must prepare a person for life after release through learning, training, and support. The question is not whether prison is perfect, it is whether it can make a real change when properly managed. So, if custody can provide this rehabilitation, why then should we say that it serves no purpose? It serves no purpose in definition. So as third point, ladies and gentlemen, custodial sentence provides stronger deterrence. Deterrence operates in two ways: specific deterrence, which deters the punished offender from reoffending, and general deterrence, which warns the general public from committing similar offense. This deterrence theory of punishment emphasizes the importance of the certainty, severity, and speed of punishment. For example, a person who is planning an offense is less likely to proceed if he knows that imprisonment is a realistic consequence. If serious offenses regularly result only in a few hours of unpaid work, criminals may regard the punishment as an inconvenience rather than a serious consequence. My opponent, a punishment that does not sufficiently discourage crime cannot be seen as purposeful, especially of protecting the public. To our fourth point, ladies and gentlemen, justice must consider the victim and not only the offender. Victims of serious crime may feel that community service judgment does not adequately acknowledge their suffering or deliver justice, potentially causing secondary victimization or loss of faith in the system. The chair, if serious crimes are only met with community service, citizens may lose faith that the law will protect them. The 2024 Afrobarometer survey for Ghana found that 72% of citizens believe that serious crimes receive lighter punishment, and 65% agree that these citizens are less likely to respect or obey the law. Victims and their family need to see that the offender has faced real consequences. Community service can seem as an insult to those who have suffered loss or injury, whilst custodial centers acknowledge their pain and oppose their justice. The Ghana's 1992 Constitution and Criminal Procedure Acts explicitly recognizes that certain offences carry penalties of imprisonment because they require a response that matches the gravity of harm. This reflects long-held legal principles that community service simply cannot satisfy. Custody upholds respect for the law and delivers justice for victims. Now, to our fifth point. To our fifth argument against giving community service as the default punishment for all offenses is the principle retributive of justice. Retributive justice does not mean revenge. Rather, it means that a person who deliberately breaks the law should receive a punishment that is fair and proportionate to the seriousness of the offense and the level of the harm caused. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime recognizes proportionality as an important principle of criminal justice. Thus, the severity of punishment should correspond to the gravity of the offense and the culpability of the offender. For example, stealing a small item cannot reasonably attract the same offense as rape or causing body harm. If the law gives essentially the same community service to these offenses, the law must be seen as inadequate in relation to the harm suffered by the victims. This is particularly important because crime affects real people and not just mere rules. A victim of a violent offense may suffer physical injury, psychological trauma, financial loss, and sometimes permanent disability. While a punishment is too harsh for a minor offense may itself be unjust. Therefore, justice demands that the punishment should correspond to the seriousness of an offense made. Now, the chair permits me to erase some erroneous mistakes made by my opponents. My opponent claims that community service promotes restorative justice. Community service is not the same as repairing the specific harm suffered by a victim. Cleaning a public area may not restore a stolen property, heal or an injury person, or compensate a bereaved family. In serious cases, punishments express society's condemnation and protect victims, not merely provide unpaid labor. Also, my opponents claim that community service reduces reoffending. My opponents, community service may reduce reoffending in some cases, but it is not universally effective. Repeated offenders and individuals who pose a serious threat to society may require incarceration to prevent them from committing further offenses while rehabilitating takes place. With these reasons, ladies and gentlemen, panel of judges, this House should side with me that Community service judgments may not serve purpose than custodial sentence. Thank you.
Impartial panel of judges. My opponent is all their 10 minutes attention wants emotionally charm this house into believing that prison is the only way to punish offenders and protect the society. Impartial panel of judges. My opponent wants a punishment that few stops but fails in reality. But the chair, we want a system that creates, shapes, rehabilitates, and changes. Impartial panel of judges representing St. Hubert this afternoon. I am Ochiri Gilbert, the supporting speaker for the set motion before the guest house today, and I quote, community service judgments will serve a purpose than a custodial sentence, unquote. The chair, per my role as a supporting speaker, I will simply proceed by adding organized facts and why community service judgments will provide something better. Doc, taking all these into concept. Point 6, we debate that custodian sentence worsens offenders. A lot of prisoners comes from the prison and become worse criminals. Let's all analyze it. A 9-year-old boy like Oliver Torres, who was sent to the detaining center, the chair, and will be meeting 3 virgins. I mean, the man who was teaching these minors how to do pickpocketing. It won't be surprised, no, that this child will come out from the detaining center with 3 PhD, with ever crime sentencing there. Cars, this is your information. You might want to come back next time. I'm not done. They are more on the way. The chair, this is a huge disadvantage for the custodian sentence. Impartial panel of judges. In 2016, the former chairman for the Prison Service Council, Dr. Reverend Wignam, affirmed our stance. Ladies and gentlemen, some prisoners also comes out and tell us how they are informally trained to do worse for clear arguments and development. Let's watch this video.
Because I Obeba, it be a man bear 10 years. I never saw the way you feel tea, Bushia Fona, the end in a chino. To buy when you're rubbing up in a quasi or bed day. Or better tenacity, a tune for bonnet, a man at long last, a bunny blue no, they fan to. A course we prison the America and clunket and get your crown no more, no more.
The chair, from this analogy, it is crystal clear that indeed, so bomotichi free some bekacho so denchemawa ye didn't. That is to say, if the mad fish come from the underneath of the water to confirm the death of the crocodile, we do not challenge. Here we have these self-acclaimed disciples contradicting the whole story. What a pity. The chair, point 7, we continue to contend about the decongestion of penal facilities and preservation of human dignities. Our prisons were not built for this, but our facilities are now operating double and triple to capacity. Impartial panel of judges, our minor offenders are now put into disease transmission, systematic degradation, and unhygienic cells. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll not take you far. The Constitution affirms our stance. You doubt? I mean, Article 15 Clause 1 and the Article 15 Clause 2b affirms our stance that human dignity is inviolable. Now, this means that this right cannot be taken away. It is precious to the Constitution. So now I'm asking, are we violating the Constitution? Remember, the Constitution is more like a Bible, of which no one can amend. Standing chairperson, impartial panel of judges. I'm not done. I'm still on the way. Doc, pardon me, but today I must abuse this empiricism word. Therefore, another empirical evidence to back my assertion is the UN Toiku 1.5 states it clearly to its member states that establishing a non-custodial measure reduce pressure, the share, and upholding human rights. But we have surplus of 4,972 inmates in our prisons. Hey, and I hear vouching for these people. Citizens of Amekom, rise up and face change because you deserve better. The church, one last and favorite point. We continue to contend about cost effectiveness. Now, Uncle David, pardon me, but Uncle David, pardon me. Economists are saying resources are scarce and prisons are shouting, let's spend more anyways. But community service are saying, let's be smart. Dr. Peter, pardon me again, but today I must abuse this empiricism word. Therefore, another empirical evidence to back my assertion is last year the government increased feeding allowance to 5 cedis per inmate. According to Statista, 13,900 inmates are in Ghanaian prison. Impartial panel of judges, fellow additional mathematics students, pick up your calculators. You realize that when you multiply 5 by this figure, you are getting 69,500. Yes, that's to say the government spends 69,500 every day on feeding alone, as if that was enough. This figure continues to grow in a month, which costs us 2,154,500. The chair, a year, it costs us 25,854,000. Maybe the chair, the house, you're not getting me. I mean, 250 billion a year and 200 million a year. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, not even including accommodation, healthcare, security, rehabilitation. No wonder that the government is now prioritizing community service over custodian sentence. Impartial panel of judges, just to reduce costs. Now, at this juncture, dive with me as we journey in slowly but inexorably into my opponent's baseless arguments and continue to make corrections in their deviation. My opponents asserted that we must protect the public. My dear, remember that we are also concerned citizens. We are not here to rewrite the Constitution. No, there are some offenses that the Constitution has already sanctioned, like murder, as you mentioned, and defilement. Impartial panel of judges, we are not suggesting community service for armed robbers. No, we are clear here. We are talking facts. We are here to produce facts, not fiction. My opponents again alluded that prison will deter people from committing crime. Hey, this is a cherry-picking fallacy. Impartial panel of judges, let's talk facts. Now, if prison was such a great deterrent, then why are prisons overflowing? What deters people is public shame, hard work, seeing your name being part of the cleanup crew. Impartial panel of judges, and Pennyfor say, that means a person will choose death to shame. My opponents again alluded that prison is the raw punishment, that community service is too soft. Hey, the chair, this is a total false dichotomy fallacy. Let's be honest, let's talk facts. Ladies and gentlemen, pain is not the purpose. No, making someone suffer in an overcrowded cell does not mean justice has happened. Making someone sue from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. another scorching sun for 6 months is work. Prison will make you pay with time, but community service will make you pay with sweat. Impartial panel of judges, the line has been drawn. My assertions are cleared. Rebuttals done. Now, our noble judges, the ball is in now your courts for you to judge. But remember that whom the crown fits today, let them wear. The name still remains. Autry Gilbert, the supporting speaker from St. Hubert Seminary SHS School. Class, we will be back. Thank you.
The chair, panel of judges, our great timekeeper, my worthy opponent who have a lot of claims but less proof, cherished teachers, fellow students, good afternoon. As I sat and listened to the argument of my opponents, I could see that all their claims are misdemeanors. We do not reflect the severity of this argument. So I further rise to the lucid, coherent, and logic argument presented by my principal speaker on the motion, I quote, unquote, community service judgment will serve a purpose than custodial sentence. As the supporting speaker against the motion from Anglican Senior High School Kumasi, I am Karen Inketia. The chair, my principal speaker and I are not in any way saying that community service judgment cannot produce any result. No. But our contention is that a cursory assessment of community service vis-a-vis custodial sentence for a punishment regime, we are establishing that custodial sentence provide greater public development, stronger deterrence, and more appropriate accountability for offenses, and hence for all intents and purposes of punishment must be given priority. The chair, before I go straight to my point, allow me to correct some mistakes made by my opponent. My opponent confidently mounted this podium and said that 1, community service reduce prison overcrowding. My opponent, reducing overcrowding is desirable, but it should not be achieved by replacing imprisonment where imprisonment is justified. The prisons are not overcrowded because of sentence prisoners, but largely because of remand prisoners. We should stop prison overcrowding without weakening the punishment deserved for crimes. Again, the chair, my opponent confidently said that community service protects family relationship. Really? Protecting
families is important, but offenders must also be held accountable for the harm they cause to the other people's family. We cannot protect one family by ignoring the suffering caused to other. Now the chair to my 6th point. The purpose for which community service is introduced has been already catered for by our laws. Crime generally is classified into felonies, misdemeanors, and capital offense. Section 294 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act 1960 at 30 outlines the different types of crimes or punishments. These include death, which is now outlawed, imprisonment, detention, fine payment of compensation, and liability to police supervision. A misdemeanor is defined as a crime less serious than a felony. My opponents, by law, bribery and corruption, and by public officers are deemed as misdemeanor. However, the punishment for some is a liability to a term of 25 years. In the minds of the framers of the law, that is a very serious offense, and indeed, is it a considered opinion of the affirmative team that such corrupt people should just sweep on the streets? No, definitely no. I pray we maintain the current status quo where such offenders are made to pay back, be fined or jailed. Now the chair to our 7th point. Community service may be difficult to implement effectively in Ghana because of the challenges associated with the identifying, locating, and monitoring offenders. Community service sounds attractive on paper. A court does not merely have the order an offender to perform community service. Authorities must be able to locate the offender, assign the person to a suitable place, monitor attendance, verify the work performed, and report compliance back to the court. This is where Ghana's addressing challenge become important. Panel of judges, imagine a court orders an offender from a remote community to perform a community service for, let's say, 3 days. Who will supervise the person? Where exactly will the person report to and from? How will the supervising officer really locate the residence of the offender when the person moves? These are not rhetorical questions, but instead they go to the heart of whether a sentence can actually be enforced. Community service is adequate personnel, transportation, technology, reporting mechanism, and supervision. An offender may simply fail to report for work or perform the various assignment given to him. Indeed, the sentence rates becoming a punishment on paper rather than punishment in reality. Compare this with a custodial sentence. Once the court imposes imprisonment, the offender is committed to a correctional institution and is placed under the supervision of the Ghana Prison Service. Now, if we cannot really locate, supervise, and monitor offenders in every part of the country, replacing custodial sentence with community service on broad scale may weaken the effectiveness of our criminal justice. Now to our 8th point, the chair. For serious and repeat offenders, community service may be inadequate when there is a substantial risk or re-offending. Community service holds an offender accountable, but it does not physically prevent them from returning to the community. The weakness is even greater restrictions and responding to rehabilitation. Community service cannot provide the same level of physical protection as custody, especially when victims and offenders live in the same community. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not saying community service should never be used. No, it can be an excellent addition to custodial sentence, such that a person who has been jailed or who is supposed to serve for 10 years in prison can be made to do 3 in addition to community service, where he can be monitored and supervised. Panel of judges, we still stand firm, not for the motion, but against the motion that custodial sentence, what custodial sentence can perform, community service can never perform. And what community service can do, custodial service can do it and do it better. I therefore call all and sundry to rise, come together to fight against the motion that I quote unquote, community service judgment will serve a purpose than custodial sentence. The chair, the house, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my second mountain of this podium is not to escalate words to the empowerment of the House, no, but rather to give a brief and concise summary of everything my supporting speaker and I have said today. A good presentation, as we Sahusians would always like to see, deserves a good summary. The chair, point 1, we argue that it visibly deters crime. Point 2, we argue that custodial. Point 2, the chair, we argue that community service judgment has more holistic benefits. Point 3, we argue that custodial center doesn't fix petty offenders, but rather it breaks them. The chair. Point 4, we argue that it is better in terms of restoration. Point 5, we argue that custodial sentence increases re-offending. The chair. Point 6, we argued about custodial sentence worsening offenders. The chair. Point 7, we argued about decongestion of penal facilities. And finally, point 8, we argued about cost effectiveness. Ladies and gentlemen, disciples here usually have something that they say. They say they have no size, but today permit me to size down all of the arguments to 0, making it undefined. The chair, the house. In their first, when they argued about it protecting society, ladies and gentlemen, what about when the criminals are released back into the society? That is the big question we should be asking ourselves here. Are they really changed? Per what I presented earlier, it says that 66% of people who are put in prison come back to re-offend, meaning that point that they made is baseless. They also argued about rehabilitation and skill training. Now, ask yourself, which one do you think is better in terms of rehabilitation? The answer is simple. Community service judgment. That means their point also there doesn't even hold water. They also argued about deterrence, ladies and gentlemen. It may be true that custodial sentence may deter people, but per numbers that we actually have, it simply tells us that that is not the best form, ladies and gentlemen. You see, 38% of people go into custodial sentence and then come back to reoffend crime, but 66% of them go back to prison and come out to reoffend again. That means that custodial sentence here is not working more than that of community service justice. Ladies and gentlemen, they also argued that justice, we have to consider justice. The chair of the house, they argued about fairness. Ladies and gentlemen, is it actually fair to actually imprison somebody for stealing plantain because he is hungry? That answer is a big no. So that point also doesn't even hold water. The chair, they came here asserting that we spoke about restorative justice, but that is not true. We never spoke about that. We spoke about restoration, ladies and gentlemen. They also argued about it protects family image. That is also not true. It is a total false dichotomy. Stop writing rebuttals and try to present it to us. It will not convince us, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to end here, but before I end, let me say something. Fairness is never relocated in that of custodial sentence, because I quite recall when a teacher was sentenced to 10 years in prison because he was accused of defiling a child and impregnating her. But after DNA results, it proved that that was actually wrong, ladies and gentlemen. It clearly tells you that custodial sentence here is not fair to other people who are innocent, the chair of the house. But if the person were to serve community service, the punishment would have been lighter on him. That is why we are trying to say that it is better than the other side, the chair of the house. I would like to end my argument, but before I sit down, I would like to share a word of advice to my dear opponents. Listen, do not invest in something that data speaks against.
Feel that community service does not adequately acknowledge their suffering or simply deliver justice, potentially causes secondary victimization or loss of faith in the system. 5, we are against community service as the default punishment for all offenses because of the principle of retributive justice, which suggests that sentencing must reflect the gravity of the offense. 6, the purpose for which community sentencing is introduced is already catered for by our laws. 7, community service may be difficult to implement effectively in Ghana because of the challenges associated with identifying, locating, and monitoring offenders. 8, for serious and repeated offenders, community service may be inadequate when there is a substantial risk of reoffending. Now, the chair, please permit me to erase some erroneous impressions made by my opponents. My opponents, you made a point relating that offenders does not receive compensation. Article 19.7 provides the compensation to innocent offenders. An example is the issue between Eric Asante versus the public. The teacher was jailed for 15 years for raping a girl in the school. When they found out that DNA tests has revealed that the teacher is innocent, the government compensated the teacher. Also, you made an impression that community service is less costly to the states. Cost should not be the primary consideration when determining justice. If a serious offender deserves imprisonment, the state cannot choose a lighter punishment simply because it is cheaper. Justice must balance cost with public safety, accountability, and deterrence. You also say that community service changes punishments from suffering to productive. My opponent, punishment is not intended merely to make offenders productive. Criminal punishment also serves retribution, deterrence, incapacitation, and protection of society. Community service may achieve some of these objectives, but imprisonment can be more effective where the offense is serious or offender poses a continual threat. My opponents, when prisoners come to reoffend, it is not the problem of the institution, but the person himself. For example, if someone from CAS has been demonized for doing something which is wrong or against the school rules and come back to Sahus to do the same thing and also demonize the person, is it your fault or the person's fault? You cannot tell me what you are saying. Panel of judges, proposition has confused the suitability of community service for some offenders with its superiority over custodial sentence. We do not argue that every offender must go to prison as they posit. Our argument is that punishments must fit the crime. Where an offense is minor or serious, where an offender is dangerous or where deterrence is necessary, community service may simply be inadequate. A justice system must rehabilitate offenders, yes, but it must also protect victims, deter crime, and ensure that punishment is proportionate to the harm caused. Community service cannot do this, but custodial centers will. So the chair, panel of judges, ladies and gentlemen, this house should side with me to reject the proposition. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, madam. I'm sure some of you will be wondering and asking yourself, why am I laughing? See, it's always a joy, it's always beautiful to sit in those beautiful chairs and watch these young minds debate these motions. And from where I'm seated, I can tell that the principal speaker for St. Hubert wants to have another 10, because he feels that some things have been said that he wants to rebut, true or false. But unfortunately, the rules have not allowed that. Please be also together for all of them. He wants another opportunity so bad, trust me. But at this point in time, they have really wowed us all. I wish that we could go on and on and on and listen to both sides, but that's not the rules of engagement. Contest 5 is over, and our team of judges are working on the results of the points, and in no time we will make it available, and we'll get to know which school is advancing to the next stage of the competition. Venato! 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 Disciples! 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 So which school do you think is going to qualify to the next stage? Which school? Okay, time will tell. But for now, Becca and Patricia are on standby. They've got some very important messages to share with us. Take it away, please.
Sure, thank you so much, David. Kel Chaco toothpaste. Hey.
Happy smile.
Please, judges, -100. Kel Chaco toothpaste. Happy smile. You are not smiling. Why? Anyway, so we also like to say thank you to Jackson University College. We are still offering programs. It's like a 4-year bachelor's of education, 2-year post-diploma in education. That's a top-up. We are also offering 1-year postgraduate diploma in education. We also have master's program in counseling and guidance, educational leadership and administration, English education, mathematics education, and also come to Jackson University College for short IT courses in digital marketing, data analytics, software engineering, Microsoft Office, web development, cybersecurity, and so much more. If you want inquiries, contact Jackson University College today on 020-1260290, 020-1260290.
Every child with a good future depends on the foundation laid by their parents. Are you a school looking for books for your pupils, or you're a parent in need of books for your wards? Well, Best Brain Publications Limited has been approved by the National Council for Curriculum and Assessment, NACA, and the Ministry of Education to supply books to basic schools nationwide. Best Brain Publication has books on all subjects ranging from crèche, nursery, KG, and primary. You can call them for the following books: English language, science, mathematics, computing, Our World, Our People, and many more. We are located at Pankrono here in Kumasi and all bookstores across the country. Best Brain Publications, securing tomorrow's academic well-being today.
Now for your wedding, engagement, promise rings, visit St. Ben's Jewelry today for quality, elegant, and affordable white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, and also silver rings. Get your earrings, your bracelets, your watches, and all your accessories at St. Ben's Jewelry. We polish also all your old ornaments and offer special flexible payment plan. Locate us at Mamekom opposite Edward Nazar Building, and also in the Chelsea House opposite Standard Chartered Bank. St. Ben's Jewelry, just dream it and it will be done.
Worms are dangerous to human life and growth. Therefore, Wormplex 400 is here to kill them and set you absolutely free. One tablet of Wormplex 400 kills all types of worms or worm eggs in your body. Wormplex can be taken at any time of the day, not just at night. Good for children above 1 year. Wormplex 400 is sweet to chew or swallow. For further inquiries, you can contact JM Ado and Sons.
Now let's go to Amasia Community Bank PLC, and since 1983, Amasia Community Bank PLC has been serving individuals, businesses, government and private sector workers and communities with convenient banking solutions. Now we operate every kind of account that you can think of and serve you with the most flexible interest rate loans. Enjoy our digital banking services today by dialing *992#. Visit also our newest branch at Mansu Kenyago around the police station. Our headquarters is also at Antwerp Chrome, but our other branches are located at Mansu Kwanta, Mansu Edubia, Mansu Datano, Anyang Kwanta, Akokeri, Roman Hill, Asim. Yes, that's Cars Campus, Ahojo Atenga Junction, Sofoline, and Santase. Amasia Community Bank PLC, your reliable financial partner.
Now, if you are a writer like myself, you love to write poems, you love to write scripts, you love to write scriptures, Seppo Mystical Pen is just here for you. Write effortlessly with Seppo Mystical Original Pen. Enjoy smooth, precise, smudge-free lines every time. Get yours in blue, black, or red. Locate Seppo products at Paul Sego Lane here in Kumasi and Okaiji, Accra for bulk purchases. Seppo Mystical Original Pen, your number one choice for premium writing.
How many of us have passports? Oh, show by hands. The green book. Anybody has a passport here? Passport.
So if you win, how will you travel?
I want to know if your school wins the 8th edition. David, how are they going to travel if they don't have passports? Do you have an answer?
No idea. Pass it on.
Oh, please go and get yourself passport, okay? Because when you get a passport and you want to travel, it's going to be made very, very easy for you. Thank see the Sea Travels. Now, what they want us all to do is to stop watching travel videos on social media and start imagining and actually living in them. That's what they are here to help us do. You get to also experience the wild beauty of Kenya and the glamour of Dubai from September 10th to 16th, 2026. Or join our China Canton Fair Business Expedition from October 26th to November 9, 2026. Now, the Sea Travels will handle all your flights, hotel reservations, breakfast, visa support, airport transfers, tours, and tourism tax, all stress-free. Locate us in Kumasi at Ahojo Atinga Junction, right opposite the DHL office.
Ochiasekai Community Bank has the right accounts for you. We have current, savings, fixed deposit, Susu, and infant savings accounts just for you. Enjoy affordable salary, Susu, business, funeral, group loans, and more at low interest rates. We also offer Western Union, eSwitch, iTrans, mobile money, and Ghana Pay services. You can locate Ochiasekai Community Bank at Kofiase, Mampong, Ejura, Sepabo Chrome, Abofo, Macro, King Kenzo, Swami Market, and Dr. Mensa. Ochiasekai Community Bank, your savior in community banking.
Dear parents and teachers, I bring you great news. Worry no more when it comes to your wards BEC results. This is the reason. Prepare them smarter with Tarmac questions and answer booklets today. It is packed with the current BEC past questions, answers, marking schemes, exam tips, and strategies for all major subjects. And just to remind you again that Tarmac questions and answer booklets or books helps boost the confidence level of students. Locate Tarmac in Kumasi and in Accra.
All right, lastly on my list, from tiny tots in crèche to confident scholars in primary and JHS, Orion Cyrus publications lead the path to success. Our colorful storybooks, engaging workbooks, and curriculum-approved textbooks are carefully crafted to spark curiosity, build confidence, and boost academic excellence in your wards. We have English, maths, science, history books, and more. JHS students become geniuses with our coding and robotics books. Give your child the head start they deserve with books that inspire learning at an early age. Locate Orion Cyrus publications nationwide. Patricia.
Reka, wait, hold on. Reka, hold on.
Okay.
Please, the last time we spoke, you were supposed to give me money from the Bigo Cola that you bought, where you scanned the QR code and won money. Please.
Okay, hold on. So I need everyone's help with this. I need everyone's help with this.
500 Ghana cedis. Can you help me drag her and collect my money?
Yesterday is gone. Another day has come. Do something new
Rebecca, we will settle this
in
case
my
out.
life.
Please.
Yesterday is gone. Today is here. So if you want to win money, just tell me you're broke so that I can cash out from my bank account.
You don't
Anna, a round of applause for me, please. Give me some fans. If you are broke, just say you are broke.
When I take her money, she will collect interest.
In fact, I'm calling
I don't want
Bigo.
to pay any interest. That is why I am going to buy Bigo Cola today, because we are still running our scan and win promo. All you need to do is to buy a bottle of Bigo Cola today, scan the QR code on the label. There's a video that will play. Watch it carefully. Please, what did I say? Watch it carefully, and after watching it, you answer some very simple questions. Please, if you are owing, go and pay, because if they pay the money to that account and it's here, make no can blame anybody. You know, this promo is being run on the NLA's platform, of course, on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions to apply. Big refresh moment. And I also like to say thank you to New Generation Investment Services Limited, offering us managed investments, of course, managing our tier 2 and tier 3 pensions, and assisting with our pension plan net. Now secure your future today with our Leaders for Mutual Fund, the NGIS Money Market Fund, and private funds. Talk to our seasoned advisors today about your investment goals and aspirations. NGIS is licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission as well as the National Pensions Regulatory Authority. NGIS, achieving excellent returns on your investment. And also would like to say thank you to Vena Mineral Water, recommended by the Ghana Medical Association.
All right, before we hand over to David, how many of you want to hear the comments on social media? How many of you want to hear the comments? Hey, you're not confident. Are you scared? All right, so David, we have a free girl. She says, not gonna lie, the girls are doing so well. The girls are doing so well. A round of applause for them. We also have I Am Blessed, and she says, oh nice, who's go there. Blessing also goes on to say, see how Dr. Peter Appa is looking at him. Oh, okay. This one has no name. He says, the supporting speaker is lazy in terms of scripts memorizing, but best in trashing people's arguments. David, this comment is brutal. College Guy says the energy of St. Hubert's guys is low compared to that of the 2024 contestants. Richest also says, cast all the way. Go there, girls, you do all. A round of applause for yourselves. David, over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Becca. And I'd like to say this, that listen, keep those messages coming in. That is what we're streaming live on Facebook, streaming on YouTube, streaming on TikTok. Keep those comments coming in. We shall be sharing them with the rest of the world. Contest 5 is over. Contest 6 is just about to begin. Great test. Hey, are you here in the auditorium? Let's try it one more time. Great test. Great test. Okay. Great to SARS. Listen, let me do this. Disciples. 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 So you heard that. And what about Venato? Venato. So that's what I'm looking for. That kind of energy. One more time. Great to SARS. Great to SARS. Great to SARS. Please put your hands together for yourselves. Contest 5 is just about to begin. And as we always follow the rituals, Patricia Amabonsu, please take it away at the forward.
Contest and between St. Hubert Seminary Senior High School and also Anglican Senior High School. Right now in my shot, we have the
2026 Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High School's debate is finally here, bringing together the brightest young minds from across the Ashanti region to challenge opinions, defend facts, and inspire a new generation of leaders. Watch students from some of the region's finest senior high schools go head-to-head on thought-provoking national and global issues as they battle for glory, pride, and the ultimate debate championship. Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High School's debate is in partnership with the Ashanti Regional SRC, CHAS, and the Regional Directorate of GES. Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High School's debate, trumpeting the voice of young ones on issues of national interest. Powered by
In Ghana today, when a civil servant is caught in corruption, he is either suspended or dismissed. But when a political leader is caught, all we hear is, oh, we are setting up a committee and let us allow investigations to work. And before you realize, their names have been cleared, quiet.
My opponent obviously generated their point from alibaba.com. Otherwise, they would have discovered that
the day boy is perfect. And today, I want to tell our opponents, our fellow students from TEPA, that they shouldn't ignore students that is ready to rewrite their history or underestimate us, because today we are really prepared. As the saying goes, the horses are prepared for the battle and victory belongs to the Lord. So today, we want to keep the smile of our lovely audience together, just like Kel took place. Thank you.
Oh, happy smile. Kel, go to first. Please respond for me. Hey, -1,000. Anyway, so let me now speak to this beautiful lady also coming from Osei Educhum Senior High School. You heard what your colleague, student, oh sorry, you're not a student, but what the student from TEPA has said.
Well, today, all that we want to say is that the good Lord, at the right time, will make it happen. Last year we were here, we went to the quarterfinals. This year we are here, and we are giving you nothing but extraordinarily best. Thank you.
Your name, please.
Please, I'm Abigail Kaidebi.
Okay, Auntie Abi, thank you. Let me finally move to patron also coming from TEPA Senior High School. What would you want to share in 30 seconds, your name and your message?
I'm Akwesi Owusu, and I'm overly confident that my learners are taking this one home. We are taking this one home. Relax.
Okay, relax. We are taking this one home. That is the vibe out there that we are receiving here at the foyer of the Christian Service University, where we are having the Love FM Kel Chako Toothpaste High Schools debate. Once again, thank you to our title sponsor, Kel Chako Toothpaste, of course, from Samara Company Limited, and also to the ARSRC, CHAS, and GES. David, you can take it away from the auditorium.
Well, I have, but you were asked to take it easy and to relax. Are you relaxed? Well, I'm thinking that she's already left the foyer. But thank you very much for tuning into Love 99.5, where we're, bringing the live 6th contest of the 2020th edition of the Love FM Kel Chako Toothpaste High Schools debate to you. Listen, gentlemen, the next two schools will do battle at TEPA Senior High School and Osei Educhum Senior High School. The motion to be debated on is democracy has outlived its usefulness. TEPA Senior High are for the motion and OSAS are against the motion. We thank all our viewers on Joy Prime and Joy Learning. We say thank you very much for tuning in. We also thank our viewers on our socials, on YouTube, on TikTok, and also on Facebook. On behalf of the organizers of this event, I say a big thank you to the Ashanti Regional GES, a big thank you to the Ashanti Regional SRC, and also a very big thank you to the Conference of Heads of our sister secondary schools for supporting us to bring to you this edition of the Love FM High Schools debates. Listen, for those of you in this auditorium, people are watching you and listening to you on radio. Please put your hands together saying thank you very much for them, for watching us, and also for you being in this auditorium. Let me introduce to you the chairperson and also the patron for the Love FM High Schools debate. Now, she is an educationist, a youth and marriage counselor, a preacher, a mentor, and a philanthropist. Now, she has counseled the youth and students since 1978. She is a renowned marriage counselor and educationist. She has over 55 years of experience both in Ghana and abroad. She's a former assistant headmistress of Kumasi High School and the headmistress of KNUST Junior High School between the years 1992 to 2008. Now, she is a co-founder and the principal of Jackson University College, which offers 1-year postgraduate diploma in education, master's and MPhil in maths, English, guidance and counseling, educational leadership and administration, plus B.Ed programs. Now, in partnership with NIIT India, they offer many technology programs. Now, her passion is to instill moral training to the youth in order to transform society. Now, she is married to Professor Ebenezer Asafua Jackson, and by the grace of God, they have 4 adult children, Daniel, Emmanuel, Nora, and Ebenezer. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the chairperson and also the patron, Mrs. Theodosia Wilhelmina Jackson. And Mom, thank you very much as always for being here and for supporting this beautiful event. Now, talking about this event, it is all about the Kel Chako Toothpaste Love FM High Schools debate. And we say happy smile to all of you who are watching us and listening to us, because courtesy Kel Chako, you can have a happy smile. Didi Shito is also a proud sponsor. And when I say Didi Shito, I mean homemade taste, best brain publication, securing tomorrow's academic well-being today. Christian Service University, the university of choice. Wemplex 400, kick worms out, keep life going. Jackson University College, New Generation Investment Services, achieving excellent returns on your investment. Amasia Community Bank PLC, your reliable financial partner. Seppo Mystical Pen, your number one choice for premium writing, big goal, big refreshing moments, and ultimate fashion, beauty in style. For this competition, we have panel of judges. And so let me take this opportunity to introduce to you our panel of judges. One judge, who is the only female who is with us this afternoon, is Reverend Patience Ewa Boateng. She's a lecturer at the Kesman University College. Thank you very much, Reverend, for your time. Please show us some love by putting your hands together for her. Also with us as one of our judges is Augustine Brimpong. He is also a lecturer. He is with the Language Department at Kokeri College of Education. Thank you very much, Augustine, for being here. Please show him some love as well. Thank you very much. And the next judge is also the lead judge for the Love FM High School's debate, brought to you by Kel Chaco Toothpaste. And we're talking about happy smiles. His name is Dr. Peter Arthur. Now, he's a senior lecturer at the KN University. He's a former head of both Department of English and Department of Language and Communication Sciences. He's also a sexual analyst, and he's right here with us. Please put your hands together for Dr. Peter Arthur. Now, once I've introduced him to you, there are rules of engagement. And for those of you listening to us on radio, watching us on television, or maybe listening to us on our various socials, you might be wondering how they'll be scoring and what the rules of engagements are. So let me introduce him to you one more time as he mounts the podium to run us through the rules of engagement and also how, as judges, they score. Pierrot is his nickname. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dave. Yes, Madam Chair, and with your permission, I go straight away with the breakdown of all that we're going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 5 parameters. They are organization and clarity, argument and development, effective use of rebuttal, presentation style, and role as a particular debater. Now, when we talk about organization and clarity, we are talking about how you raise your point and how you develop your points and how you spread your points. Here, we need a very good introduction. And the first speaker is taking 15 marks for that. And then the second speaker is taking 10 marks for that. And then the summary is 5 marks. Then we come to argument and development. Let me put it this way. You see, you are arguing. There's a progression. There's a chain. Pay attention to the chain so that A is the cause and B is the effect. And you have to prove to me that it is A which caused B. You have to prove. So if you are the opposing team, you listen attentively. We have 2 types. We have the causal chain and we have the procedural chain. Causal chain means that it is a necessary cause. That means it is the only thing that can cause B. But if it is a sufficient chain, a sufficient cause, then it means that we have different types of probabilities which can get you to B. Now, the first speaker is having 15 marks, and then the second speaker is also having 10 marks, and then summary is 5 marks. When you come to if the effective use of rebuttal, here what we are saying is that the same thing, procedural, if the person misses a step, it simply means that his conclusion is bad. So you listen attentively and then tell us exactly the step that has been missed and then correct it for him. Then with the causal chain, if he is treating a cause that is sufficient as a necessary, then it means that his conclusion too is bad. You have to work on it and make the person know that what you're saying is wrong. For the first speaker, we're having 5 marks, and then the second speaker is having 10 marks. There is nothing for the summary. Now listen, if the first speaker comes and starts rebutting, we load all that he's saying on the second speaker. So it doesn't mean that you don't have to come here and rebut simply because the test session, that is summary, is not having any marks. Then, of course, we have the presentation style. We want decorum. Just be gentle. This is not a fight. So don't attack anybody. And be gentle to all your opponents. Mind your body language, okay? Because it's communication. The way you walk around, please, some of you do as if you are robots. You just go and then you come. No. Let it be natural. You understand me? And then, apart from that, watch your voice. The way you use your voice. Watch your facial expression. All these go for what we call presentation style. And then the first speaker is taking 8, the second speaker is taking 5, and then the summary is supposed to be 2. The role as a particular debater, it's simple. The first debater is the one who is doing the job, and you might be seen as such. And then the second speaker is the supporting speaker. He's only supporting. Now let's get to the rules. Rule 1. The principal speaker on the affirmative team presents argument in support of the motion, and that's for 10 minutes. The principal speaker on the opposing team presents arguments opposing the resolution, that is also 10 minutes. And then the second speaker on the affirmative team presents further arguments in support of the resolution, identifies areas of conflict, and answers questions that may have been raised by the opposition speaker. This time, it's 7 minutes. Then the second speaker on the opposing team presents further arguments against the resolution, identifies areas of conflict, and answers questions that may have been raised by the previous affirmative speaker. Again, 7 minutes. The principal speaker on the affirmative team comes with closing statement to their argument without adding any new information, and also uses the opportunity to respond to rebuttals if there is any. That is 5 minutes. Then the principal speaker on the opposing team comes with closing statements to their argument without adding any new information, and also uses the opportunity to respond to rebuttals if necessary. Again, 5 minutes. Note that speakers must sound very audible, right? And that there shouldn't be any interruption during the session. Every speaker must take his time. And the principal speaker is raising 5 points, and then the supporting speaker is raising 3 points. Now let's look at these other rules as well. He who asserts must prove. Watch it. Very soon this is going to be like a in order to establish an assertion, the tip must support it with enough facts and evidence. And mind you, facts and evidence must be accurate. Examples of visuals or materials or visual materials are permissible. And once introduced, they become available for the opponent's use as well. Tangible evidence must be tendered as exhibits to support facts. And in rebuttals, the debater rebutting may ask any constructive and clear question that has a direct bearing on the point raised. And the one rebutting must confine him or herself to questions and not to make statements, comments, or ask rhetorical questions. Note that supporters from both sides are to exercise discipline, not to induce, frustrate, or intimidate the opponent. And failure would attract deduction of marks from their team. Watch. Debaters must respect time. If you are bailed out, you must end your presentation. Otherwise, you will lose some marks. And in the event of a tie, the two schools involved will be given a motion to debate within 24 hours. Note, the score of one judge cannot overturn the score of the two judges. That is why there is either a majority decision from the judges, meaning 2 judges out of the 3 score for a school, or there could also be a unanimous decision, meaning all 3 judges score for a school. Now, if you have any problem, whatsoever, you see the handsome gentleman on my left, just direct your problems to him and he will solve it for you. Reporting time for a contest is 12:30 p.m. Failure to adhere to this will lead to disqualification. So, I'm done.
You are tempting me, but you know I will not fall for this temptation. And when he says he's done, he's Peter. So I'm like, you're not done, you're Peter. So oftentimes he tries to avoid saying he's done, but indeed he's done. Please put your hands together for Dr. Peter Arthur, our lead judge. In case you just turned on your radio, it means you're listening to Love 99.5. If you just turned on your television and you're watching us, it means you are either on Joy Prime or Joy Learning. And of course, for those of you watching us on our socials, on Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube, you might be wondering what is happening. It's all about the Love FM Kel Charcoal Toothpaste High Schools Debate for the year 2026. Contest 6 is just about to begin. But before we do, please put your hands together for our hosts, the Christian Service University. We'll say a big thank you to all of them. And as you're very much aware, we're doing this in collaboration with Ashanti Regional SRC, with the GS Ashanti Region, and also the Conference of Heads of our sister secondary schools. Now, our lead judge a while ago was that debaters must respect time. That is why we have the accurate time keeper or keepress. That's not like keepress, accurate time keeper. Her name is Jenny. So to all the principal speakers, if you have 3 minutes more, you have 3 more minutes on your time, this is what you hear. That means out of the 10 minutes, you have spent 7. Now, if you're a supporting speaker, you have 7 minutes. So when you have spent 5 minutes and you have 2 more minutes to go, you hear this. For the summaries, if you're halfway through your presentation, this is what you would hear. But when your time is entirely up, this is what she will do for you. At that point in time, it means that you need to stop. Greatest. 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 School of the Moment, please stand on your feet for me. I'm asking you to stand like I do to all the schools who come through. You're going to stand and sing for us your school anthem. And I'm sure that all of you here this afternoon know how to sing your school anthem. What I'm requiring of you is for you to sing your anthem with vim, with vigor, with all the energy you can master. Now, there's a very fine gentleman also to my left, like Dr. Peter Arthur would say. His name is Francis Drury. He's going to play your anthem for you. It's already pre-recorded. He's going to play it for you. All you need to do is to sing along. I just hope that all of you know how to sing your anthem. But if in case you don't know how to sing it, just open your mouth and close it. It still works. So on 3, 1, 2, 3. Listen, put your hands together for your own selves. You sang so beautifully. And keep the applause running. Keep clapping, because at this point in time, we want to welcome your debaters. Emanuela Chumesi is the principal speaker, and of course, Oferiwa is the supporting speaker. Okay, for real, I saw you sing. You were singing so beautifully, and the other one was conducting while the anthem was being sung. Please take your seats. All right, so let's go to Ose Edichum Senior High School. Great Osas. Great Osas. Great Osas. Please stand. You saw your opposing school do what they did by singing for us their anthem. You are scattered in the auditorium beautifully in your sea blue color. I love it. And so it's your turn to sing for us your anthem. Francis, are we good to go? Francis says we are. Are you ready to sing for us your school anthem? They say they are ready. So on 3 then. 1, 2, 3. You also did very well. You did justice to the anthem. Please put your hands together for yourselves. And keep the applause rolling as we welcome your debaters. If you don't mind, make some noise as we welcome Joycelyn Ajubi Owusu, the principal speaker, and Francisca Sewa Opoku, the supporting speaker. All right, so they are also just about to take their seats. The motion is democracy has outlived its usefulness. Tepa Senior High School are for the motion, and Osei Edichum Senior High School, they are against the motion. So let's invite Emanuela Chumesi, the principal speaker for Tepa Senior High School, to start the debate. Madam Chair, can we proceed? She's giving her blessing. So let's begin.
From the east and the west, the north and south, let us gather under one verbal tree and listen to knowledge which goes beyond borders and times. Dear Vice Chair, honorable panel of judges, man of the pendulum, a worthy opponent, ladies and gentlemen. Good day, representing Tepa Senior High School. I, Emanuela Owusu Chumesi, humbly serves as the principal speaker on the affirmative side of the motion. Quote and unquote. Democracy has outlived its usefulness. Let us all understand this motion as I define the key terms present in the motion. According to the Oxford Advanced Dictionary, democracy is a system of government where citizens vote to elect their leaders. Outlived, on the other hand, means to stay or exist longer than someone or something. Therefore, I share and I esteemed panel of judges. My first vote of call to support my stand is democracy can reward popularity over competence. Here, citizens vote based on popularity, not on competence. Well, according to the CDD report on the 2016 election, citizens voted based on popularity, not elections. In Ghana, Key political figure like the late J.J. Rawlings was voted based on his complexion, charisma, and his charm. No wonder Ghanaians called him Junior Jesus. Junior Jesus not based on his competence, but his complexion, charm, and his looks. The likes of Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, Kwame Dondimelo were all voted based on their popularity, not necessarily on their competence. Secondly, democracy breeds corruption. Elections can be very expensive. The chair, candidates need money for rallies, campaigns, and political machineries. According to the CDD report, reigning Ghana's presidency is about $200 million. The chair, does my opponents have any idea as to how these politicians come up with huge sums of money? Well, I guess your guesses are as good as mine. When you ask them, they will tell you it's from their real estate businesses and their personal savings. But only God knows. In Ghana and in Africa, vote buying is very popular. In an interview of Mr. Freddie Blay, the former NPP chairman, he said, vote buying is a norm in Ghana, and voters take as low as common salt, margarine, rice, kuraba, and even bentwa to vote. My opponent, is this really what you call democracy? Again, my next point of call is democracy has brought about violence. In a recent democratic elections in Ghana, 15 deaths, 40 injuries were recorded in the 2020 and the 2024 elections. What do we see? What really amazes me is that even in parliament, where democracy is seated, what do we see? What do we see? Our military entered parliament to restore calm during election of a speaker of parliament. Even in parliament, broke in parliament over a proposed e-levy. So my opponent, when gold is rising, what then do you think will happen to iron? Again, democracy is built for citizens to participate, understand issues, to make proposed choices. But what do we see today? Today, peoples have stopped voting. What do we see? People vote without knowing the policies of a candidate. What do we see? Voters chooses based on popularity. Based on their popularity, tribes, kuraba, and even bentwa, rather than their policies. My opponent, democracy produces good leadership when electorates are not sufficiently informed. My opponent, let me educate you here. 1, voter apathy weakens democracy. 2, political ignorance can make voters vulnerable to manipulations. The chair, when voters choose leaders without carefully examining their competence and policies, then democracy can become a contest of emotions rather than ideas. Let's listen. The chair, panel of judges, as I conclude, let's ponder on these statements. 1, we should not preserve a system merely because our ancestors created it. We should preserve what really works. 2, the question is not whether democracy is good or bad. The question is, does it still deliver? And finally, if yesterday's solution has become today's problem, then democracy has really outlived its usefulness. The chair, honorable panel of judges, ladies and gentlemen, please help me affirm the motion that, quote and unquote, democracy has outlived its usefulness. I rest my case. Thank you.
There was a time when the ordinary citizen had no voice in the affairs of government, when people were not elected by the people, but rather they inherited power, and when questioning authority was considered as a dangerous crime. Democracy emerged from the ashes of oppression, not as a perfect system, but as a promise that the government should have a say in governing themselves. To simply call this system outdated means we are forgetting the struggle that gave birth to our freedom. The chair, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, fellow students, and all protocols duly acknowledged. Good day. Coming from the land of intellectuals, Osei Edichim Senior High School, I am Joycelyn Ejibi Owusu, the principal speaker, confidently opposing the resolution before the House. Quote and unquote, democracy has outlived its usefulness. The chair, before we delve into our argument, let us first establish the parameters for this motion. From the Longman's dictionary, democracy refers to a system where
people can vote to elect their own government officials. The same dictionary defines outlive as to become no longer useful. Usefulness, on the other hand, refers to the state of being useful. Panel, this motion is essentially claiming that democracy has lost its purpose and is no longer needed in today's world. But that argument fails to recognize that democracy is not a finished product. No, it is a continual process that evolves with society, a system that enables people to have voice, demand accountability, and peacefully change governments when leadership fails cannot be called outdated. It is simply indispensable. Moving on to our first point, the chair will claim that democracy remains the safest way of ensuring popular sovereignty. Before this House arrive at the conclusion that indeed democracy has outlived its usefulness, the chair, we must ask this fundamental question: who should truly hold power in the society? Is it the people who elect these leaders or the leaders who occupy office? Democracy is built on one fundamental principle: that power do not permanently belong to those who occupy office. It is entrusted to them by the people. Through the Constitution, the media, the parliament, citizens have moved from mere observers of governance into active participants, proving that they can elect their own leaders, demand accountability, and change leadership when it fails. This is the true meaning of popular sovereignty. Adjudicating panel, Ghana's democratic experience provides a compelling example. After decades of political instability and military intervention, Ghana finally embraced democratic constitution in the year 1992. In 2000, this country experienced a historic milestone where we saw the transfer of power from the National Democratic Congress to the New Patriotic Party, proven it through elections. The chair, in 2016, Ghanaians exercised their sovereign power by through the ballot box and voting for their leaders, proving that power can change hands not through force but through the voice of the people. Beyond Ghana, South Africa's democratic elections in the year 1994 gave millions who were previously excluded the opportunity and authority to determine their own future after decades of apartheid rule. The chair, moving on to our second point, we assert that democracy remains a powerful safeguard against the abuse of power. From the pages of history, one lesson remains undeniable: that when power is placed in the hands of a few without restraint, the rights of the people is placed at risk. The threat to citizens is not merely the existence of power, it is power without boundaries, power without accountability, and power without consequences. This is why democracy remains relevant. Democracy is not built on the assumption that every leader will be good. Democracy is built on the assumption that every leader needs to be controlled. Before Ghana's Fourth Republic, Ghana experienced periods of military rule. Under such system, there were so many restrictions for the citizens. But now, under Ghana's Fourth Republic, let us go back and recall the events surrounding the killing and abduction of the 3 High Court judges in the year 1982. It is a painful reminder that when institutions are not able to control those connected to power, the state is at risk. Let's move beyond Ghana. Stronger evidence proves this. Under Idi Amin's military rule in Uganda, thousands suffered because of weak democratic institutions that could not place restriction on state authority. But today, this has changed. Leaders can be questioned in parliament, challenged in courts, and above all, ultimately removed from government. Moving on to our third point, we assert that democracy safeguards fundamental human rights. Freedom is most valued when people remember what it feels to lose it. In the year 1979, many market women were subjected to public humiliation and physical punishment as part of government actions to combat the allegation of profiteering and hoarding. Instead of the state to rely on useful and reliable process in fighting this, they resorted to actions that violated the fundamental dignity and rights of individuals. Right now, this has changed. Under Ghana's Fourth Republic, citizens are protected by the 1992 Constitution of Ghana, Article 21, which guarantees citizens freedom of speech, association, and involvement in political activities. Moving on to our fourth point, the chair, we assert that democracy provides a peaceful avenue for resolving political conflicts and changing leadership. Every society will experience political conflicts and disagreements. But the true question is that should these conflicts exist? If they exist, we need to have mechanisms that resolve it. That is why democracy is present. That is why democracy is present. Democracy provides these mechanisms. It transforms political struggle from fight for the fittest to competition of ideas. It enables individuals to move. It enables individuals to elect their own leaders through election rather than revolution, and it allows leaders to leave the office through ballots rather than bullets. Consider Spain in the year 1975. After the death of dictator Francisco Franco, Spain faced the reality and difficulty of moving from authoritarian rule, but due to the impartation and intervention of democratic reforms and elections, Spain adopted democratic institutions. This is a proof. Moving on to our fifth point, we assert that democracy strengthens accountability. Power without accountability is not leadership. It is a license to abuse those in power. Moving forward, democracy remains relevant because through the Constitution, the Parliament, the media, and ballot box, leaders are constantly reminded that public office is a responsibility and not personal ownership. The 1992 Constitution of Ghana gives authority to institutions such as the Auditor General to probe into public spending and to hold any official accountable for the misuse of state resources. This proves that in a democracy, money cannot be simply spent without questions being asked. Citizens like me, you, now have the right to ask our appointees that 1, where did the money go? 2, who authorized? And 3, who at all should be held responsible. Moving forward, we say, let's move to South Korea and see this one. In 2017, President Park Geun-hye was removed from office after the Constitutional Court upheld the impeachment over corrupt-related allegation. This proves one particular thing, that in a democracy, no leader is too powerful to escape scrutiny, and no office is too high to face the consequences. The proposition may mount this podium and argue that corruption still exists in democratic countries, but that argument misunderstands accountability. Democracy do not mean that leaders will not engage in wrongdoing. It simply makes sure that the leaders who engages in this wrongdoing will be held accountable, responsible, and above all be punished and exposed before the courts, before the country's court of law. According to Sir Winston Churchill, he says something, that democracy remains the worst form of government, but until critics are able to produce enough alternative to democracy, democracy remains the best form of government. After all, in the absence of anything good, the worst is considered. With this, the chair, the house, I bow.
The chair, distinguished judges, co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen, good day. I am Ashley Asantio Foriwa of Topagweta Senior High School, proudly speaking in affirmation of the motion, quote and unquote, democracy has outlived its usefulness. Today, democracy has been presented to us as though it is the best answer to every political problem. My opponent could say democracy means good governance. But ladies and gentlemen, let us pause for a second and ask ourselves these simple questions. If democracy is truly the best answer to every political issue, and if it is the best system, why then do we witness corruption and division? Secondly, the chair, I ask, must the system truly be judged based on its promises or what it can actually deliver? My first point is that democracy leads to dishonesty. Dishonesty because during elections, we see candidates coming to the people with soothing words and beautiful promises. Yes, they do this. But the question is, what happens after they have been voted for? According to the Ghana Morning News, the former vice president failed to deliver 30 promises he made during his campaign. According to the Ghana Web, Nana Akufo-Addo also failed to deliver 18 promises he made to Ghanaians. See, democracy must be a system though, but democracy truly leads to disloyalty. The MPP's deputy secretary, Mr. Mahmoud Haruna, also accused the NDC of making empty promises that failed Ghanaians. The main problem is these promises broke the trust of the people and the trust that people had for their leader and the trust that people had for their leader. Because of this, we witness apathy in the nation and worldwide. When the people stop believing that when the people stop believing that their votes can bring meaningful changes, they stop seeing the value in voting. My second point is that democracy slows down decision making. Let's think about it. When a decision can be made in weeks, but sometimes it takes months or even years. Just because of lengthy political procedure and parliament and public protest. The chair, in countries with rapid development, major decisions are often centralized. They are made without parliamentary debate or political negotiations. These countries include China, Singapore, Rwanda, and Saudi Arabia. Lastly, the chair, democracy is crazily expensive. The cost of winning presidency is estimated at 200 million US dollars. The CDD also says that the cost of political campaign has made democracy favorable to the elite. To contest for MP positions, one needs about 7 million. To contest for MC positions, one needs about 7 million to be able to stand. And even after they win, to contest for MC positions, one needs about 4 million Ghana cedis. And even after they win, the MPs reportedly spend about $12,743 million annually. $12,734 million annually to meet the financial demands of their constituency. According to the national chairman of NDC, the cost of becoming an MP is 3 times higher than than their salary. And Rubediako once said, I quote and unquote, my salary as an MC is $500, 500 Ghana cedis. And A+ also stated, Quote and unquote, my salary as an MP is just a chicken change. According to the Post Agency, the President of Ghana's monthly salary is 27,181 Ghana cedis, while the WFD reports 79% increase of campaign costs. But the House, let us be practical. If the political office is this expensive, yet we still spend billions to get in, then surely there must be something more to political power than what meets the eye. The chair, democracy may promise freedom and others, but a system must be judged based on what it delivers. Based on this, we have every reason to question if democracy is truly the best system for our development. The chair, I plead with this House to join us in affirming the motion, quote and unquote, democracy has outlived its usefulness. Thank you.
My opponent, if democracy has outlived its usefulness, then what system has outlived the need for our freedom? Ladies and gentlemen, it will interest you to know that the very people claiming that democracy is useless are using one of the most greatest gifts of democracy. That is the freedom to speak, the freedom to challenge, and the freedom to challenge an idea. Is this not contradiction? They want to use the freedom protected by democracy to argue that democracy itself is no longer useful. This is like using a microphone to announce that microphones are useless. Greetings to you, the chair, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, teachers, co-debaters, fellow students, and all protocols duly observed. As representing the land of the scholars, of State Edition Senior High School, I am Francisca Sewa Opoku. As the supporting speaker, opposing the motion before the House, quote and unquote, democracy has outlived its usefulness. The chair, I stand before the House not to argue that democracy is perfect, but I stand to argue that its imperfection are not a sufficient ground for its destruction. Moving on to our point, our 6 points we assert that democracy can be reformed to meet modern challenges. The House, let's get practical. In Ghana, reforms such as biometric voter registration and verification system in 2012 and 2024 has significantly reduced impersonation and also increased electoral credibility. The House Electoral Commission reported that this has helped to reduce multiple voting incidences and also helps to strengthen public trust in election outcome. Not all. In Kenya, after the disputed election in 2007, that led to about 1,000 deaths and 600,000 displaced persons. Major constitutional reform were introduced in 2010 and including developed system of government. This reform brought governance closer to the people, helping and also reduced winner-takes all tension that previously fueled conflict. The House, the answer to a struggling democracy is a better democracy. Moving on to our 7th point, we assert that alternatives to democracy are more dangerous. Ladies and gentlemen, history and contemporary evidences shows that alternatives such as authoritarianism, military rule and others has led to human rights violation, corruption and economic mismanagement. For instance, in Kenya, in North Korea, a highly authoritarian system that a United Nations also estimated 40% of the population is undernourished, while political freedom are virtually non-existent. With street movements on their movements, their speech, and also their access to information. These provide evidences to back our claims. Again, in Zimbabwe, during their period of authoritarian system associated with severe decline economic growth and also hyperinflation, that reaches its point of astronomical level and thus has reaches its astronomical level. The House, according to Amnesty International, executions in Saudi Arabia has been reported to have risen sharply with a record of 345 people executed in 2024. And this is democracy not have outlived its democracy. At the chair, our 8 points we argue that democracy reflects global political preference. The House, what happened when democracy is no longer effective? Because the greatest danger is not a government that takes time and makes decisions, but the greatest danger is a government that makes decisions without the fear of being challenged, being questioned, or being removed. The chair, according to research done by Pew Research Center on attitude towards different types of government system in 2028, February 2024, reported in 24 countries were asked about different forms of government: representative democracy, direct democracy, autocracy, and technocracy, and military rule. Across these 24 nations could, including South Korea, Japan, and India, and some other countries, a media of 77% expressed support for representative democracy. According to Democracy Without Borders, under the project, quote and unquote, the case of democracy, VDEM, an independent research institute at University of Gothenburg in Sweden, published 8 policy after between May 2021 and January 2022, outlaying how democracy performed better in fields like public goods provision, education, economy, social protection, and cohesion. The chair permits me to clear the air on some assertions made by my opponent. The chair, in my opponent's presentation, they point out corruption, political division, election disputes, and broken promises. But the House, let's be intellectually honest, are these failures of democracy or failures of human being operating within democracy? If a person fails in an examination, do we declare education useless? No, we repair the system. And so why should democracy be different? Panel, democracy is not a promise that every leader will be succeed, but democracy is a promise for the people, for their voice to be heard. Democracy is not a guarantee that every government will be success. Democracy is the mechanism that allows citizens to speak, challenge, and remove government. The chair, my opponent also asserted that election cost billions, but the cost of election cannot be compared with the cost of citizens losing their political voice and peaceful means of changing governance. The chair, even in China, there is no free press. They are under the one-party system. There is no free press, no internet. Internet is censored. Even if you want to have a child, you need permission to have more than a child. And also, social credit system monitors you. Can you do that in Ghana? Can you tell Ghanaians that NCA should shut down Facebook, shut down TikTok, and shut down Love FM if you freely express yourself in the doing of the government in power? No. The chair, for this reason, is to conclude, the chair, the House, until we get a system better than democracy that helps citizens to voice out, then we reject the motion that, quote and unquote, democracy has outlived its usefulness. The chair, the House, thank you.
The ever-wise chair, a respected panel of judges, ladies and gentlemen, my second coming is to summarize and rebut some fallacious assertions made by my opponent. Now to my summaries. 1. Democracy can reward popularity over competence. 2. Democracy breeds corruptions. 3. Democracy causes division rather than unity. 4. Democracy has brought about a lot of violence. 5. The issue of voter apathy and political ignorance is not found in democracy. 5. Democracy leads to disloyalty. 6. Democracy slows down decision making. And lastly, democracy is crazily expensive. Now to my summaries. I heard my opponent say democracy has given us peace and stability. Yes, we thank God, but peace without progress is poverty. We need peace. We don't need democracy. By the fruit, according to Matthew chapter 7 verse 20 says, we shall know them. What have we seen in Ghana? The fruit of 30 years is 7 billion debt and youth unemployment. We need peace and progression. My opponent. 2. My opponent said the problem is bad leaders, not democracy. But do you know that democracy is the factory that produces all those bad leaders? When election costs millions, only the rich and liars can contest. The system itself is broken. 3. My opponent said without democracy, we will go back to coups and dictatorship. We are not asking for coups. We are only asking for an upgrade from a Nokia 3310 to an iPhone. From a 1992 democracy to a 2026 system that delivers with speed and accuracy. I heard my opponent said democracy gives us freedom and speech
freedom of speech and human rights. Yes, but freedom of speech is useless on an empty stomach. A man who cannot pay school fees or even buy fuel does not care about freedom of speech. What he really cares about is his stomach and survival. The chair, I heard my opponent said we can vote them out. That is accountability. Yes, that is accountability. But do you know that the time we vote them out, the loans are signed, the money is gone. We need a system that truly prevents all these damages, not one that clears itself every 4 years. My opponent said that we should look at countries that are very democratic and hence they are very developed. Yes, but let's look at America. America built its roads and industries 200 years ago with a dictatorship style of decision. They used democracy after which they became democratic. We are trying to use democracy to become rich. Hey, sir. It is not working, my opponent. I heard my opponent say democracy allows for a debate and better decisions. Yes, debate is good, but delay is deadly. While we debate that Accra Kumasi road for 20 years, while we argue the Accra to Kumasi road for 20 years, accidents kill people. While we debate Dumso every day, businesses collapse. We need action. Ghana needs action. Not endless talk. I heard my opponents also say we fight democracy through corruptions. We fight corruptions through institutions. Really? Which institutions? The SHRAS, Auditor General, or the Parliament? We have all of them. Yet Ghana loses billion yearly to all these things because of corruption. Because these institutions are very weak because politicians control them. The system can protect itself. Lastly, I heard my opponent say democracy is the best system in the world. Who told you that? According to China, best is measured by report. China lifted 800 million out of poverty in 40 years. Dubai built a desert into a city in 40 years. What has 30 years of democracy done for Ghana? Is it the jobs, the youth unemployment, or the debate that has already been up about corruption? The chair and a panel of judges. On this case, I rest my case. Thank you.
The chair, the house. I mounted the podium once again not to overwhelm you with words, but to provide you with facts and to summarize the cogent points raised by my supporting speaker and myself. 1, we asserted that democracy remains the most effective system for ensuring popular sovereignty. 2, democracy remains a powerful safeguard against the abuse of power. 3, democracy continues to protect fundamental human rights. 4, democracy provides a peaceful avenue for resolving political conflicts and changing leadership. 5, democracy strengthens accountability. 6, democracy can be reformed to meet modern challenges. 7, alternatives to democracy are more dangerous. 8, democracy reflects global political preferences. The chair, the house, kindly permit me to school Tepa today. The chair, they made an assertion that I said democracy is the best form of government. I never said that during my presentation. I quoted from Sir Winston Churchill, which he said that in the absence of anything good, the West is considered. And until critics can provide alternatives to democracy, democracy remains the best form of government. This is what I said. The chair, they went ahead to make an assertion that there is corruption in democratic institutions. The chair, their argument just simply misunderstand accountability. Democracy does not mean that leaders are not capable of doing wrong. No, democracy simply ensures that these leaders who engages in wrongdoing are simply punished, exposed, and challenged in the country's court of law, so that their arguments holds no water under scrutiny. The chair, they went ahead to make an assertion that people now vote for their leaders based on popularity and competence, and went ahead to make instances and name Honorable John Dumelo. The chair, it's funny. People voted for this man based on popularity, but if you look at the work that he is implementing in his constituency, you will know that the people did not make a mistake. The popularity fetched them development in their constituency. We can attest to the fact that he has just recently counciled to construct a new senior high school in his constituency. So if popularity will lead to development, then we will choose popularity. The chair, they went ahead to make an assertion that democracy slows down decision making. The chair, we want a situation and a system where we will be actively participated and involved in decision making. Even in the house, when we are dealing with our parents, we want to make sure that anything they do, we are involved in it. So how can you expect us to go back into that military era where you will be there and you will be told that this is the new era, this is the new normal, sleep at 6, and you'll be like, okay. We want a situation where we can challenge these decision makers and prove our case to them. The chair, they went ahead to make an assertion. The chair, they said, I was expecting our opponents to mount this podium and name just one form of government that is better than democracy. But it is rather unfortunate that they were not able to name one. They were just simply nitpicking on things that are happening. But the problem is, the system is not the problem. The people are. And until Ghanaians will step on their feet and vote for competent and visionary leaders, the system is not a problem. The people who have been elected to control it are. With this, the chair, the house, I bow.
Well, as she takes that bow, we've come to the end of contest 6 in the 2026 edition of the Love FM High Schools debate. The fire is hot. Listen, Osei Dushim, join me here, all of you. Join me. Stand to my left here. Good job done, huh? And please, Tepa, join me as well. Great job done. So to my right. That was a beautiful presentation. Listen, hug each other, shake hands, battle well fought. Hug each other, shake hands. It's a friendly thing they did, huh? Although the words were punchy and heavy and all. Please take your seats and put your hands together for them one more time for me. The motion they debated on was democracy has outlived its usefulness. Tepa, the word for the motion, or say Duchum were against the motion. Ladies, great job. Please take your seats for us. We're still live on television, Joy Prime, Joy Learning. We say hello to all of you. We say thank you very much for joining us. And we hope that you are enjoying the debate. For those of you who are listening to us on radio, we salute you as well. And we say, listen, keep listening to Love 99.5. And for those of you following us on our socials, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, keep those messages coming. Becca is elated with all the messages on social media.
Oh, yeah.
She's excited about it all. Woo. So Becca and Patricia, take it away.
Sure. All right. Thank you, David. Patricia, please continue.
C.
See that Kaka. Bonguto. Mamie.
I'll take it away.
Rebecca, please. Hello.
Patricia, before anything, let's just say a very big thank you to all our sponsors. Our title sponsor, Kel Charcoal Toothpaste from Samara Company Limited. We'd like to say a very big thank you. If you have your Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, can you wave it for me? Wave it. Hey. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. And again, we'd like to say a very big thank you to Christian Service University for giving us this beautiful auditorium. To Jackson University College as well, we say a very big thank you. Diddy Shutter Homemade Taste, thank you so much. Seppo Mystical Pen, can you wave your pens for me? Seppo Mystical Pens. All right, thank you so much. You can write that letter to your Alaya, and trust me, all the poetry, please, it will come flowing without smudges. You have a smooth ride. We also say a very big thank you to Bigo and Vena Mineral Water from Trillium Industrial Limited, New Generation Investment Services, NGIS, Otuya Sekai Community Bank, St. Ben Jewelry, Tama Questions and Answers Textbooks, The Sea Travels, Amantia Community Bank PLC, Best Brain Publications, JM Ado and Sons, and Ryan Cyrus Publication. Thank you all so much for bringing us this wonderful edition of the Love of Kel Charcoal Toothpaste High Schools debate. Patricia,
yeah, Rebecca Mara. Oh, you know I always beg very great things around this hour because this is the time for the Kel Charcoal Toothpaste Minute. Okay. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Hey, some of you are not smiling. Some of you are not smiling. Are we ready for today's competition? This one can add 200 marks each to your schools if you get it right. And you actually also get a very nice gift from me. Are we ready? Can we answer very simple questions and win all of these amazing things I have with me?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so if I ask the question and you think you have the answer, walk up to me with the confidence that you address the chair with
the chair,
the house. Are you ready?
Ready.
Hey, are we ready? Yes. All right, so question number 1. Obiniyam.
Rim.
Obiniyam. Rim. Do you have the first question? You just give me one question. Let them answer. Very simple question.
Okay. Apart from Kel Charcoal toothpaste, what other products are we gifted with from Samara Company Limited?
Hey, this one is
other
cocoa.
products?
This
What
question
other
here, the
products?
answer is cocoa.
Okay, so I have a lady down here, Patricia.
Okay, please come up. Please let's clap for her.
A round of applause for her.
Oh,
Quickly,
she's from
please.
Osei
Until she gets to Patricia, don't stop clapping.
Oh, please keep clapping.
Keep clapping.
Keep clapping.
Louder. Louder.
Please, you come ahead here. You know Samara Company Limited, right?
Yes.
And you know some of the other amazing products they produce for Ghanaians.
Yes.
All right, so mention one for me, just one.
Sasso insecticides.
Oh, can we clap for her? And what is the tagline for Sasso insecticide spray and coil?
Please.
Oh my God.
Please say it again. Can we clap for her as she receives her item? No, let me give you something bigger.
Please, is there a house prefect here? Any house prefect here?
Wait, let me give you something bigger, okay? Because you deserve something great. Please don't give anybody what is inside this beautiful bag. Have you seen this bag? Everybody, have you all seen this beautiful bag? Yes, it's from Kel Charcoal toothpaste. So, sweetheart, what's your name?
Dora.
Dora what?
Akosia Frimpoma.
Dora Akosia Frimpoma getting the first prize from Samara Company Limited.
I almost called her Dora the Explorer.
Thank you.
Patricia,
yes,
Sasso, no, I want to give it to a house prefect. Is there any senior house prefect here or a house prefect? Any house prefect? Hands up, please. Just one? Oh, two.
Okay.
No male house prefect?
House prefect,
oh, there are 3.
House prefect, show up.
No more prepare spray
before
to avoid and kill all mosquitoes.
It is very
right?
true.
So we're going to give you Sasso mosquito spray. Is that okay?
Yes.
A round of applause for Samara.
Ereka, please, I want to ask the patrons a question right now. Please, patrons, where are you? If you're a patron here, just show your hand. You're live on radio and live on TV. Hey, I'm giving you something, dear patrons. Rebecca, I've seen
patrons, please, why shall you shy?
Why?
Why shall you shy?
Oh,
we have a hand up there.
Auntie, please come. Please, let's clap for our
Oh, Patricia, let me even approach her. Let me approach her.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself.
Mrs. Ajwa Jemfua Ajeni Mboati.
Mrs. Ajwa Jemfua.
Domestic for USAS.
Rebecca, the way the woman has done this, like I can't ask her a question.
Pressure.
The post is very big. But Auntie, please, I'll ask you a question. Rebecca, please take the microphone back to her. Please, you see Kel Charcoal toothpaste there? It has the medicinal properties that charcoal provides for the body because it removes toxins. Please, what else does the constant use of Kel Charcoal toothpaste does for all of us when we brush with it morning and evening?
If you have any mouth odor, it will take it away.
Oh, please give it up for mommy. Hello. Rebecca, come for it. Rebecca, come for this and give it to domestic for me. Oh, Dome Boo. Please clap for Dome. Are we ready to win more prizes? Because I have plenty here. Hey, it has remained. Oh, okay. Who is ready to win this next big one? I am. Hey, Osas, madam has won something already. Hey, Tepa, why? You are not here. Tepa, you are not here. St. Hubert, have you given up? Okay, so I have another very simple question for you to win this from Kel Charcoal toothpaste for us. Okay, now the question is, Auntie has given us one thing that Kel Charcoal toothpaste does for us. Give me 2 other things that Kel Charcoal toothpaste does for you and I when we use it to brush constantly. Please come up if you have the answer. The gentleman from St. Hubert, the Venator man. Venator! They said it means what, the hunter of souls. Venator. So do you think he can hunt for my package here? Hey, please clap for him. I like the vim with which he's coming with. The way you're coming down, you give me 3 things. So, all right. So, are we ready? So, give me 3 things that Kel Charcoal toothpaste does for all of us when we use it to brush our teeth.
So, actually, it whitens teeth and it gives you confidence.
No, explain the confidence part.
So, you see, when you have odor or halitosis, you'll not be able to express yourself freely. So, the Kel Charcoal toothpaste will help you express yourself freely by giving you a facial
my
breath.
God. A round of applause for this young man. Oh.
Okay,
Wow.
so I said 3. He decided to give me 1 answer and discuss. That's what he did. Confidence, then what is confidence? Discuss. And he
Answer
broke
1.
it down.
Baby A.
Baby A.
Baby B.
Thank you.
Baby
All right,
C.
please clap for him. And since Tepa, they've told me that they are here, I want someone to come and answer this question from Tepa Senior High School. Please, let's clap for someone from Tepa Senior High School as they come to answer my last question.
Yeah.
Oh, Tepa.
Hey. You want to know the question? You like Apo too much. You like Apo too much. You should exude confidence. Exude confidence. Be confident.
Come.
Get up. You don't, it's very simple. It's very simple. It's not Apo. Okay, you get up. Get up. You get up. Get up.
Please, let's start for the gentleman as he's coming for his gift.
Hey. Or say hey.
Okay, let's do it quickly because we have the results ready. And my question is, which company in Ghana produces Kel Charcoal toothpaste, Sasso insecticide spray, Roma insecticide spray, and also Feco spray starch?
Samara Industries Limited.
Hey, Rebecca, the first name is correct. The second one, please. Auntie Felicity, should I give it to him?
Wait.
Hey, he says I should wait. Okay, let's hear you.
Wait.
Okay, please, go ahead.
Samara Company Limited.
Okay, so whoever gave him that ball, you come and collect your destiny.
Go and collect.
Please clap for
a
him.
round of applause for him, please.
Yes, so that's Samara Company Limited. They are scattered all over the 16 regions of Ghana. But if you want to locate their corporate office, make sure you make your way to the Greater Accra region. Look for them at plot 144 Sasso Street, Adrenkano, East Legon in Accra. You can also find their other office at Techiman in the Bono East region. Remember once again, Kel Charcoal toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Kel Charcoal toothpaste. Opinion.
Patricia, before we hand over to David, you know what the other institution makes us smile?
Tell me.
Jackson University College.
Oh,
Jackson University College.
Okay.
You know, from high school, your education doesn't end.
No.
You have to further it.
It doesn't
And
at
the
all.
best place is
You need to go
Jackson
to.
University College.
Okay.
They are currently offering a 4-year Bachelor of Education program, a 2-year post-diploma in education, that's
Okay.
for top-ups, and then 1-year postgraduate diploma in education. Now, master's programs include MA, MEd, MSc, MPhil in guidance and counseling, educational leadership and administration, English education, mathematics education. Now, we also have short IT courses in digital marketing, data analytics, software engineering, Microsoft Office, web development, cybersecurity, and many more. For enquiries, kindly call 0201 260 290 0201 260 290.
Now, do you know one amazing thing Jackson University College actually also does? I think we need to clap for Mrs. Theodosia Jackson right now. Please
A round of applause for our chairperson.
What she has actually been doing in previous times is that she trains the trainers or the patrons for the semi-finalists free of charge. They can actually teach the kids going back, and she does this thing free of charge. Nobody has actually done this thing before. It's only Mrs. Theodosia Jackson who has
Another round of applause for her.
Clap for her.
Another round of applause for
We
her.
appreciate her always taking the time off to be with us here and be our chairperson for the Love FM Kel Charcoal Toothpaste High Schools debate.
And lastly, David, before you take over, I'm going to read some comments, but now I need you guys to clap for yourselves. You have been an amazing audience. Louder. I want to hear you make some noise. Okay, Okay, so this one is coming from Horace Holmes. He says, great test. Amakra says, go high, great test. Bismarck and Cab says, great Osas all the way. David says, Ajubi from Osei Educhum. She's a very smart debater. Afriel says, yes, she is stronger now. I remember her from last year. Jenny says, Tepa, please, get ready to pack your bags and leave. Sister Ajubi, Famamo. Pressure. Now, this one also says, this is coming from Ishmael. He says, school of the moment. We won't mind 81. On we go. This one has no name. He says, hey, Namado dear, why dang? Let the man rest. Heaven's Gate says, hey, Tepa for go.
Hey, okay. Where you go? The senior high school edition.
Why?
Oh, I see. Well, that's interesting to know. But one thing I remember taking away from the first contest, David, is that by the time I realized I was almost becoming a lawyer. Custodial sentence versus what? Community service. I was like, by the time these kids are done, I'll be my lord. Rebecca, you disagree?
Your Honor.
Yes, my honor.
I rest my case.
Thank you.
David, over to you.
All right, so I think they deserve a round of applause, don't they? Please put your hands together for them. And I'm going to keep asking you to keep clapping, because we want to say a big thank you to all those who watched us on television, on our social media handles, and listen to us on radio. We'd also like to say a very big thank you to all the teachers who are assisting each and every student. Put your hands together for the teachers as well. And then put your hands together for the judges who also did an amazing job this afternoon. Put your hands together for the accurate timekeeper. Put your hands together for the chairperson and the patron for the Love FM High School's debates. And you know what? Put your hands together for your own selves. We have some very special guests in our midst. Let me just acknowledge them. We have the headmaster for Tepa Senior High School with us, Mr. Ernest Jedu. Please welcome and good afternoon to you. There he is. Mr. Ernest Jedu is the headmaster for Tepa Senior High School. Well, he didn't come in here alone. He came in with the headmaster, as a headmaster admin, that is Mr. Ernest Yamson. Mr. Ernest Yamson is also with us this afternoon. Headmaster academic or assistant headmaster academic, Mr. James Intim is with us. And we also have Mr. Brefo. He's the assistant headmaster for domestic. They're all here with us this afternoon. The very first competition or contest for today was between St. Hubert Seminary Senior High School and Anglican Senior High School Kumasi, and the motion was community service judgment will serve a purpose than custodial sentence. Now we know that St. Hubert, they were for the motion, and Anglican Senior High School were against the motion. Venato. Venato. For the last time, Venato. Disciples. 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 Now your results. I don't know why anytime I mention the results and is that what you guys do when your WASI results are out? Or that's what you did when your BEC results were out? But you passed from the junior level to the senior high level. So have confidence in yourselves. Are you confident? If you are, then please put your hands together for yourselves for your confidence. But as you're very much aware, it's a competition. One would win the day. We will say better luck to the other school that does not win. Now, our lead judge also told you that we have two ways of scoring, either the unanimous decision or the majority decision. Now, unanimous decision means that all three judges scored for the winning school, so that makes it unanimous. Then we have the majority, so we have three judges. If two out of the judges score for a particular school, that school wins. So let's go straight to the results. By way of organization and clarity, a judge scored 26 for St. Hubert, another scored 26 for St. Hubert, the other scored 22 for St. Hubert. 26, 26, 22 amounts to 74. Argument and development, St. Hubert, a judge gave you 26, another 27, the other 17. 26, 27, 17 sums up to 70. By way of effective use of rebuttal, St. Hubert, a judge gave you 11, another judge gave 13, the last judge gave 10. 11, 13, 10 sums up to 34. St. Hubert, by way of presentation style, a judge says, well, you deserve 13. Another judge says, you deserve 13. The other says, well, you deserve 9. 13, 13, 9 sums up to 35. Then roll as a particular debater, a judge gave you 8, the other gave you 8, the last judge also gave 8. So 8 plus 8 plus 8 sums up to 24. Let's put it together, St. Hubert. 74, 70, 34, 35, 24 sums up to 237 for St. Hubert. Now the results for Anglican Senior High School. Organization and clarity, a judge gave you 18. Another gave 25. The other 28. 18, 25, 28 sums up to 71. Argument and development, Anglican Senior High School, a judge gave you 14. The other gave 24. The last gave 28. 14, 24, 28 sums up to 66. Effective use of rebuttal, Anglican Senior High School, you got 9 from a judge, 8 from the other, and 15 from the other judge. 9, 8, 15 sums up to 32. Presentation style, Anglican Senior High School, you got 7 from one of our judges. Another judge gave you 11, the other 13. 7, 11, 13 sums up to 31. Roll as a particular debater, a judge said, well, I will give them 8. The other said 7. The other 10. 8, 7, 10 sums up to 25. So let's put it together. 71, 66, 32, 31, 25 sums up to 225. So by way of a majority decision, St. Hubert Seminary Senior High School are the winners of contest 5 of the competition that was held today. So you can stand, St. Hubert, and sing your school anthem as you celebrate your victory over CAS. So they just sent us to Rome. We're back to Ghana. Thank you very much. The 6th contest, but the second contest for the day, was between Tepa Senior High School and Osei Educhum Senior High School. The motion was democracy has outlived its purpose. I already told you that we have a unanimous decision and we also have a majority decision. The scores between St. Hubert and CAS was a majority decision. This one is a unanimous decision. The results for Tepa Senior High School. By way of organization and clarity, you got 19 from a judge, 23 from another judge, and 17 from the other. 19, 23, 17 sums up to 59. By way of argument and development, a judge gave you 20, another 21, the final judge gave 15. 20, 21, 15 sums up to 56. Effective use of rebuttal, Tepa Senior High School, you got 10 from a judge, 9 from a judge, 9 from the other judge, 10, 9, 9 sums up to 28. The presentation style, you got 9 from a judge, 12 from the other, and 8 from the other judge. So 9, 12, 8 sums up to 29. Role as a particular debater, Tepa Senior High School, you got 6 from a judge, 7 from the other judge, and 6 from the third judge. 6, 7, 6 sums up to 19. Let's put it together. 59, 56, 28, 29, 19 sums up to 191. Now the results for Educhum Senior High School. Organization and clarity, a judge gave 26, another gave 26, the last judge gave 18. 26, 18 sums up to 70. Now argument and development, the judge gave 27, another 26, the last gave 16. 27, 26, 16 sums up to 69. Effective use of rebuttal, a judge gave 14, the other gave 8, the last judge gave 9. 14, 8, 9 sums up to 31. The presentation style, a judge gave you 18, the other 13, the last judge gave 9. 18, 13, 9 sums up to 40. Role as a particular debater, you got 9 from a judge, the other judge gave 9, the last judge gave 6. 9, 6 sums up to 24. Let's put it together. 70, 69, 31, 40, 24 sums up to 234. This is a majority decision, and so Osei Educhum Senior High School have advanced to the next stage of the competition. Great Osas! Great Osas! Great Osas! Great Osas! Congratulations to you. Please stand. And you can also celebrate your victory either by singing the school anthem or maybe giving us some jama in terms of morale. Whatever you want to do, you've got 2 minutes. Just do it. Starting right now. All right, so thank you very much. To all of you who watched us on television, Joy Prime, Joy Learning, we salute you. We say thank you very much. To all our viewers also on our socials, Facebook, TikTok, and of course YouTube, we say thank you very much. To our honorable chairperson, thank you so much. The accurate timekeeper, to all the judges, and to all of you, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. This was a unanimous decision. All 3 judges called for Educhum Senior High School. So, Patricia Amabos will take it away.
Sure, thank you so much, David. And all too soon, we have come to the end of contest 5 and contest 6 of the preliminary stage of the Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High School's debate here at the Christian Service University. And at the end of it all, St. Hubert Seminary Senior High School and Osei Educhum Senior High School have joined the likes of Kumasi Wesley Girls Senior High School, Church of Christ Senior High School, Ibadu Rahman Academy, and T.I. Media Senior High School to the round of 16 of this particular competition. And so congratulations to all the schools, of course, congratulations to all the schools that couldn't also make it out alive at this stage. And you know, before we wrap everything up, the debaters tell us exactly what they did or whether they found it easy or difficult whilst they were on stage. And I have in my shot the gentleman from St. Seminary, St. Hubert, yes, that's Venato and Imarum guys here to tell me what's up. So where do I start from? All right, so Chairman, how are you?
I'm good, Nancy.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so what was it like before you even mounted the stage?
Oh, things were looking a little bit tough, but as I mounted the podium, I saw the glory was going to shine, and indeed it has shined at the end of the day.
Okay, all right. So he says he saw the glory was going to shine, and you were his colleague on stage. When you saw your colleagues from the other school, didn't it actually like make you fear like this is a school that is of so much value like yours?
Oh yes, we thank Kumasi Anglican Senior High School for a very good contest. We must say they are very good, but when you are good, it doesn't compare to being the best. And then we thank them for a very good training section. Yeah. Okay.
Let's speak to the patron also from St. Hubert Seminary. Yes, the gentleman we spoke to before the competition started, and he is still here. Congratulations, St. Hubert, once again.
Thank you, thank you.
And how are you feeling? I'm not seeing the excitement. Should we give it back, or should we give it to Kumasi Anglican Senior High School?
I'm happy. I'm happy. It's just that the process we went through has made me quiet. You know, we give respect to CAS. We didn't take it light, and so a lot has actually gone to the victory that we have today.
What do you plan to do going into the round of 16?
I think we are taking each competition at a time. The opponent would determine the strategy that we will use to come in.
Okay, all right. Congratulations so much to St. Hubert Seminary Senior High School. Let's speak to our friends now from Osei Educhim Senior High School. Osei Educhim Senior High School, and find out also from them what this means to them. Osei Educhim Senior High School. Where are your debaters? Let's have a conversation ASAP. Please come around. Please come around and let's do this quickly. Yes, Osei Educhim Senior High School, and this beautiful lady, the Samri woman, that's how I love to personally call her. How was it like for you meeting the likes of a very big school like the school you met today? That's Tepa Senior High School.
We were anxious a bit, but we knew at the end of the day, God would give us victory. And that was what we prayed for when we were coming from school. So, yeah.
You are something we saw last year and we're seeing this year. What do you think you have worked on differently this time?
How to control emotions on stage, yeah. We've worked on that. We've gone back to the board and everything. We are still working on it. And at the end of the day, we know God will give us victory. That's what we are praying for, yeah.
Okay, God will give you victory, and God gave you victory at the end of it. So let's speak to your colleague on the podium when you actually had the debate. Sweetheart, that's Francisca right here for you. What does this victory mean to you?
I'm so excited about this victory because this is my first time mounting the podium, so I feel excited.
Were you scared knowing that everybody was watching your TV, listening to you on radio, and also watching you on social media?
No, I was never scared.
What do you want to tell your friends from Tepa Senior High School?
Better luck next time.
Better luck next time. Okay, so let me end with the beautiful patron. That's Auntie Abigail right here from Osei Educhim Senior High School. What strategy are you using this one today? Share it with all of us so that maybe the other schools can learn.
Actually, God is our strategy. As I said earlier on, Bible says that at the right time, the Lord will make it happen. We were here last year, we are here this year, and the Lord is making it happen for us. So that's what we are using.
Quarter-final stage last year, what is the dream for this year?
The win, ultimate prize, ultimate prize. You saw what our girls did.
Well, they are clinching for the ultimate, and so let's see whether it's going to go the way of Osei Educhim Senior High School at the end of it. So remember that at the round of 16, you are going to meet the semi-finalists from last year. That's defending champions Prempeh College. You're going to meet Kumasi High School. You are possibly going to meet St. Louis Girls Senior High School and also KNUSC Senior High School. Do you have a message for them?
They should prepare and come. We'll meet them.
Okay, so they should prepare and come. That's the message from our patron from Osei Educhim Senior High School, bringing us to the end of everything for today. Tomorrow, God willing, we'll giving you contest 7 and contest 8 of the preliminary stage of the Love FM Kel Chaco Toothpaste High School's debate. Once again, we'd like to say thank you to the Ghana Education Service, the Ashanti Regional Students Representative Council, the Conference Affairs of Assisted Senior High Schools, and our title sponsor, that is Kel Chaco Toothpaste from Samara Company Limited. Get a pack today at 80 supermarkets, but if you want bulk purchase, locate Samara Company.
.74% of all corruption cases in Africa are as a result of civil